Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about the perimeter and area of rectangles. We're also going to have a look at squares at the end because, as we know, squares are special types of rectangles. So to find the perimeter and area, we first must understand what they are. The perimeter is the distance around the outside, and the area is the number of square units that is contained in that figure. And in this case, the figures we're talking about are rectangles. So to find the perimeter, we must find the sum of all sides of the rectangle. So here we have a rectangle, and as we know, a rectangle has two lengths and two widths. So there are a few ways that we could write the formula that helps us find the perimeter of a rectangle. We could write P, standing for perimeter, equals length plus width plus length plus width, knowing that we have covered all of our measurements as we go around the outside of the rectangle. But we could simplify that even further so it takes us less time. So perimeter equals 2 lengths plus 2 widths. Or even further, we could simplify it into perimeter equals 2 multiplied by length plus width in parentheses. Now it's really important to remember to include the unit of measurement in your answer. So let's have a go at finding the perimeter of a rectangle. Here we have a rectangle that is 9 feet long by 4 feet wide. So I'm going to use this formula, perimeter equals 2 multiplied by length plus width in parentheses. That's the one that I favor. I think it takes the shortest amount of time. So if I follow this formula, I find that perimeter equals 2 multiplied by 9 plus 4 in parentheses. 9 plus 4 is 13, so now I have 2 multiplied by 13, and I end up with the answer of 26 feet. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 26 feet. That tells me that the measurement around the outside of the rectangle is 26 feet long. To find the area of a rectangle, we find the product of the length and width of that rectangle. So as we know, there are 2 lengths and 2 widths, but to find the area of that rectangle, we multiply the length by the width. Again, it's so important to remember to include the square unit of measurement in your answer for area, because area, we're talking about how many square units are covered. So again, using the same rectangle, we have a measurement of 9 foot long by 4 foot wide, and the formula that we use to find the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. We are multiplying the length by the width of the rectangle. So following this formula, I have the length is 9 and the width is 4. So area equals 9 times 4. And I find out that 9 times 4 is 36. Now, again, I remember to include the square unit of measurement because we're talking about how much space is taken up by the rectangle. So I'm measuring in feet, but it's square feet because I'm talking about the area. So the area of the rectangle is 36 square feet. Now, as I mentioned before, we're also taking a look at finding the perimeter and area of squares because squares are special types of rectangles. And you could use the same formulas as you do for rectangles, but there are other formulas that you could use that might make it a little quicker because squares have equal sides. So here we have a square that measures 6 inches. So the side of the square of each side is 6 inches in length. So our formulas that we follow for a perimeter and area of a square is perimeter equals 4s because we are simply adding the side measurement 4 times, and the area equals side squared because we are multiplying the length by the width, and in this case they're both the same measurement, so we can just multiply the side by itself, side squared. So the perimeter equals 4 times 6 because we are multiplying 4 by the side, and the side in this case is 6 inches. So that will give us a measurement of 24 inches for the perimeter of the square. The area, our formula is side squared. Now the side is equal to 6 inches, so side squared is the same as 6 squared, which is the same as 6 times 6, which equals 36 square inches. Now, just don't forget to put that little 2 up there to show that it's square inches, because you know that you're covering area here and you're talking about area. So the perimeter of the square is 24 inches, and the area of the square is 36 square inches.